greetings. Thanks for joining us. All right. Okay, so it's an Andromeda connections. I've been doing Sirius. I'll probably do Lyra. Maybe. We'll see. Must have kind of done the few lines quite a bit, but we'll see. Ursa Major for like a healing planet or healing energy. So I just tap into that and see what we get from that. Ursa Major is the Big Dipper. It's the I think it's the bear, if I remember right. And Antarctica, for the frozen Akashic record. We'll see where that goes. We just happened to basically tap into Antarctica and see the energies of that. Someone in the chat asked about mushrooms. I don't know. Some get too reliant on these things, but whatever works for you. Yeah. So many people want to connect to the spirit realm, so you can do it through a meditation, through your imagination, also. So just do it as your guide. But some do need to take mushrooms and all that for whatever reason. They have their inner reason for it, their inner, basically for the experience. But it's not going to be the answer to everything. There can be some drawbacks to all of these things. Just be aware of that. So, all right. Okay, let's see what we got here. It's on Total.com. We have private sessions. There's the scheduler. We have the shop. I'm still in. I'm in November. I'm December still. Like early December. Journey of I don't know if I'm going to still go to this. My job situation is not good, so we'll see. I'll try to make it, but it's not looking good. The webinar, social networking behind the scenes. Yeah, I'm trying to make it to that conference, but I don't know if that's going to happen or not. My job is not exactly stable or in good energy, so it's in May, so I'll know before then. That's kind of toxic energy there. So, okay, we'll tap into the Andromeda frequency. Now, there's one thing I have not done, the solar system. I guess that's become a subject matter. Like that's really affecting anybody physically. I can do some tapping into it. Not that it's that important. I mean, talk about going outside yourself. If you're concerning about the solar system, eventually you'll come back home and be concerned about yourself. I don't know, I guess that's a thing. Anunnaki is a big thing right now, and the solar system. I don't think many people are thinking about what's happening in the solar system. I don't think anybody cares. But some are oppressed about it, and that's good. But that's just going outward, basically. Anunnaki and all that. Well, some are dealing with it internally, which that's different. I mean, if you're dealing with Anunnaki and their struggles with them, their fight with them, that's understood. But some are like, it's just it rests. I don't know. It's like spiritual mumbo jumbo. A lot of it. It gets kind of lost, and within the bigger groups, they're making a big deal about it. But if you have to deal with something internally personal, that's different. That's more important than have some guru talk about it. Like it's you can take that and beat it to death, basically. But anyway, in the solar system is interesting. I tap into the solar system. When I connect to Andromedans, I'll connect to the solar system. We'll see what's out there. Obviously, there's a lot of alien traffic out there. Of course, the SSP energies. If you need that dimension, if it's even that important to anybody, getting your life straight. That's what matters most, really. So, all right, yeah, Andromeda, Ursa Major, and Antarctica frequencies. So, all right, blessings. Here we go. Brings you. We are Andromeda. We are the Andromedan Council. Blessings. Yes, to connect to your solar system frequencies, there is a lot of assistance here on your world, but many cannot interfere. So the alien energies are always listening, not to say to you personally, but just listening to the earth, listening to the vibrations, feeling the vibrations of your planet, and giving love to it, to your collective. Now, many are, yes, going through drama of their soul, and many are going through, yeah, the traumas of their galactic lifetimes. They can't seem to get out of that circle. Many are stuck there. And some are just, they find it fascinating. Some are, it's entertainment. it's the soul journey. Even a heavy experience can be entertaining at the same time. You can learn and be entertained at the same time. That's why some of the spiritual work feels as entertaining, because for many it is entertaining, but also they are growing at the same time. But your solar system energies here, I mean, for the most part, is assisting your world. I mean, yes, there might be some beings causing difficulties here, but it's actually very few. Humans take a small manipulation and just triple it or quadruple it, and then want to learn from it for the rest of their incarnation cycles. To take a little thing and make it a big deal. Some of you might see that. If you have a family member or a friend that takes something that's very small, minute, that doesn't even mean anything, and make a big deal about it, and now it's their life story. So many humans do that. And you hear about them all the time, technically. It's not everybody's able to identify it. Yes, and some that are in the SSP are in victim mentality. They still have not quite let go. And also the attention they get from talking about their situation at SSP. They haven't quite removed themselves from it and just basically grow internally. But that's on their level. As Andromedan energies, yes, we're here to observe. And there is some interaction, but mostly as an observer. You can say it as an adult energy to not interfere, but to assist only when necessary and to just hear you out. But we only hear what we need to hear. Don't listen to everything. But basically, many humans need to go through, not everybody, but quite a few go through self-pity. They're just going through their own darkness. And it's basically to let you do what you need to do. Not to say an Andromeda energy is better. It is a lot of times it's fascinating to see yourself go really down to your lowest level, just to basically to really let that happen, to explore that side of yourself, the shadow. And it's quite the exploration. And someone has stayed there as long as they can in their darkness. There are insectoid beings that are incarnated as humans here, and they just know how to nitpick everybody. They pick on everybody. Not all insectoid beings are like that, but quite a few are. They just want to, nudge everyone to a certain level. So their growth, they don't always know how to grow either. To just kind of, some become bullies. There's different energies there. But as Andromedan frequencies, basically, we're like kind of like your forefathers, but once again, we don't feel like we're better than society. We just don't have to go, our worlds aren't developed to go through what you're going through here. But we all have our own experiences, of course. We have diversity, we have racism that we have to deal with. but not at the level of your world, because your world seems to find violence some way. Not always, but it's like if you can't express yourself, you do it through violent acts. And that gets everyone's attention. Well, sometimes you have no choice. Well, to get, oh, that's where protesting comes from, basically. It's like we'll protest or we'll get violence. We'll try to do peaceful protests and see where that goes. If not, we'll just start rioting. That's usually where it goes, usually. Not always, but sometimes it does. Some are literally peaceful protesting, but others have other agendas. If they turn into a breakout riot, that shows that the agenda was to fight all along. That's just that was plan B. So, but of course, your world, yeah, understand. Basically, humanity has to want to, yes, change itself to not have to go so dark. But that's what you're made for. That's what this world is made to go deep into the shadow and to be there as long as necessary. Yes, you have this problem, that problem, all these problems. It's because this world has problems, so you might as well explore it while you can. Because once you leave this world, which many of you don't need this incarnation anymore, you don't have these problems anymore. And some do kind of get addicted to it. Some do feel they kind of miss it when they leave this world. And that's why some do come back, because they want to see what else they can figure out here. It's a challenge. So some of you have dealt with challenges in your life. It's like, I think I can figure this out. And that's why people come back here. It's like, you look at this world, it's like, you know what? I'm going to give this another shot. Not to have a victim mentality. It's just basically to see if they can figure out this world and get through it. For achievement, soul achievement. So, blessings. Greetings you. We are the energies of Ursa Major, sending you blessings. Yes, our energies can unlock worlds, unlock your planet from its darkness, but we're not here to do those things. Basically, some of you remember worlds that are like paradise worlds. So it's kind of like you call healing planets, basically like vacation planets. Doesn't mean Ursa Major is this filled with vacation worlds. Not exactly, but many of you do have memories of basically a simpler life. But there's only so much of that you can live. And that's why others do have interactions with reptilian beings and whoever it might be. It depends on what if it comes into your experience like a reptilian experience, that means your energy is always open to it already. So others don't always experience that. There's like, they might have a feline encounter instead, but if you have a reptilian encounter, it was already, the door was already open in your incarnation chart. Of course, here in this world, it has a great deal of it. Well, because there are healing properties within the reptilian also. So yes, it's kind of like being strapped into a roller coaster. You go deep into the unknown, but then you come out. So there's the healing properties also. It's kind of like, you can say as being human, it's kind of like the body is kind of like a cage of the soul, but it's also healing the soul too. It's kind of like you're not going anywhere. They keep you here to help you experience this. So the reptilian brain and the way the human development, or the way your human body is developed, is to keep your soul in your body, basically. And that has a lot to do with the reptilian DNA. There's other DNA involved with it, basically. Anunnaki has something to do with it. Also, there's other attributes to it, but a lot of it's the reptilian side of it. To experience what is necessary here, no matter what happens. But also helps you with strength. So there's the strength energies, and no matter what, you do get stronger. And you wonder why you're here. Nothing makes any sense, but you are getting stronger little by little. Some might not want to look at it that way. Wonder why I have all these challenges. And also is there to awaken your mind, or awaken your eye to open you up to new things. Because a lot of souls have been, as you say, many have been to vacation worlds. Yes, maybe some of you have been there a little bit too long. So when you come back here, yes, it's a reality check, and it's not easy. It's like if you go through all of this negativity, yeah, you haven't been here in a long time. Then others have just been through challenges, and some of them are just used to it. Some of it's karma related. But even if you haven't experienced darkness in a long time, you can say that's a part of karma also, because you just haven't experienced it in such a long time. And the more of you acknowledge that, the more you can heal it. Doesn't mean you'll get out of it instantly. Yes, there's always a bigger picture, but it doesn't always have to reveal itself. It's just it can be also ancestry karma. While you're here, some of you are part of your ancestors. Some of you actually seeded some of your ancestors here, like a few thousand years ago, and now you incarnate to close it out. To kind of shut down. It's done. It's done what it needs to do. And some of you have kids, some of you don't have kids. Either way, it changes the vibration of it. Because family lines create a certain type of person, a certain type of characteristic, as some of you know. So, blessings. Greetings to you. We got consciousness of the solar system. We're just here for a few moments. So we are, yes, a warning library. Basically, you come here to also unlock histories that have been hidden. So it's ancient history here, as some of you know. And actually, history. So many of you have your past life connections here and deep in the Earth's history. So you incarnate to bring an energy signature for that history to be resurrected slowly. It's kind of like planting seeds, but it's out through energy. So if you haven't been here for a few thousand years or whatever it might be, you start thinking about the Earth's history, like you're really kind of obsessed with it to a certain level. There's a reason for it, because you're actually here to resurrect the past. And some of you, yes, have elongated skulls, actually souls, but some of you, yes, you are connected to Easter Island. Basically, the ancient ones to just leave markers for your world to be resurrected in the past. You say that's why the pyramids were built. The pyramids are technically built because it was known that this world was going to forget. So the pyramids are set here for you to, before you went to amnesia, the pyramids are there to remind you. That's why it's still there. As some of you are feeling the reminder energies, maybe you connect to the pyramids. It's like, look, there's a lot of mysteries in the world, and that's one of them. And of course, there's many other mysteries also. Some are more hidden than others. Some need to be hidden. There's too much. Like you see mountains that look like pyramids, and that can be a little bit much for a lot of people. It just can't be. Sometimes it's better just to have it covered up. Basically, the world is the Mother Earth energy knows what's best. You can say technically of what needs to be remembered and what needs to be forgotten. And it has all to do with the collective. Like, what does the Mother Earth want to experience? And you're experiencing it with her. Maybe she doesn't want to remember the past. It's like some of you. Some of you don't want to remember the past, like your own life. It's like, I want to forget all these things. And I want to go forward and do something different. And that's what you're doing now through the Mother Earth Gaia frequencies. She wants to do something different also. Does she want to go back into the past? I mean, something to level, but she's already experienced that. She wants something new, and that's why you're here. Greetings to you. Is Antarctica consciousness. Of course, yes, there's many mysteries of Antarctica, the oceans. The ocean energy really has everything. Yes, Antarctica has a piece of it, but not all of it. The oceans have it all. But reactivating is not as simple. It depends on where you are going on a spiritual path. Basically, it's almost like seeing yourself translucent as a more higher dimensional being, connecting to the cosmos, connected to the higher realms. And you can see the ocean as a different color, blue, greens, yellows, just a different frequency altogether. And see nature eventually will change its color also. But where it's at now is where the conscious, basically, because there's a lot to be understood, figured out in the lower dimensions at this level. It's not quite hell, but it is a version of it for some. It has a piece of the lower realms that's here to be explored. You can say you're all here as explorers in your own form, your own way. Even if you're just sitting at home all day, it's still exploration because you still have a mind, and your mind can go to all many places. So it doesn't mean you have to go out there in the physical, because some of you have done it already. Some of you get really fragile. Some of you can't just navigate the physical realms anymore. So sometimes sitting at home is just for the best. And if you do go out, you can attract all the things that attract the opposite of what you need to experience. So the Akashic realms, reactivating your Akashic self. You can visualize yourself as a translucent being. Yes, at a higher level. What does the world look like? I mean, some of you have seen maps of the Earth. Well, what's your version of it? What color does it look? Does it look like Mars? Does it look like Venus? What is your version? Because that gives you an idea of your connection here. Because this world on other dimensions looks like Venus. And it also looks like Mars in other timelines, which I know. Well, Mars is rebuilt. Looks like Earth, and Earth is the Martian planet. And you do have Martian energies here. It just, there's so many beings that came here with their own ideas and just implanted their consciousness here. And so now you're in a garden, a garden of the strange. And it goes to so many different layers. So it's just basically diversity here for humanity to come together eventually. It's not always necessary for that. Basically, you're healing your own Akashic connection here. Basically, many of you there's only so much you can do in this incarnation. So just being here is a big deal. So you're helping other future generations connect to your energy. It doesn't mean you have to be your children. It could be just others that might connect to your frequency. So you might see it as like you need to write some book or something or whatever, but really just put your energy here and others will pick up on your frequencies. So others are attracted to your energy and more about you. Of course, there's many that want to incarnate here and be very physical, third dimensional people and not have to worry about anything. Because I know the spiritual people are keeping the bad guys away. And many just want to they want to live that earth experience. They want to shut off the universe and just live the earth experience. Just go to work, complain about work, have a relationship, have a kid, complain about work, and then exit. And that's it. Some just experience that. And some of you will see that as, wow, is that alien? To really shut off. I mean, it's like an alien. It is. It's like an alien race. It's like you have another alien race here. You have different alien races. You have like the human alien race. It just literally wants to be a physical human. Doesn't mean it's an empty soul or anything like that. But they want to just come here and buy a boat, live in a home, and just do all those things. And that's it. That's their spiritual development. So some aren't always seeing it that way. They feel that's the dreads of this incarnation. It's like, what's going on here? But when you more understand what kind of civilizations you have here, it's just this world offers a uniqueness. In the higher dimensions, you don't have to wash your clothes. But this world, you do. So it just has little things here that souls they're so used to the higher frequencies. And they come here and it's like, fingernails and hands and all these things. And it's just very new to many. So you start to understand that. And I believe some of you understand that. It's just that you might always think about it. The earth vehicle, the human experience of just living daily life. For many, this is $1 million just to Yes, be able to go to work, complain about it, or not complain, whatever it is, watch television, just do the human routine. And some of you look at that, it's like, ah, so that's what you came here for. Yeah, they might be higher dimensionally, advanced, but when they come here, you can say they come here to relax. For some of you, it's like, what? So, that's